Can
And
you
we're
hear us? Can you see us?
live. We're good. Hey everyone.
Live.
Welcome back to Nothing Nerdy. I'm here once again with the Inspector Who Reacts. Hello, Inspector.
Yeah. Hello.
So we took a little bit of a hiatus. Well, I think everyone's been busy in general, but definitely lots of Star Wars stuff going on. So we do have some stuff we'll be catching up on this week and in the coming weeks. So yeah, but how are you, Inspector?
I'm good. Just, trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
But also excited to talk about current Star Wars, old Star Wars, and some possible new Star Wars stuff coming.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on in the Star Wars universe. Hello, MXC. Welcome. Um,
Yay.
so yeah, like I said, we won't be discussing everything tonight. We're gonna be discussing some stuff tonight, but like we recently watched the Clone Wars from 2003. This was my first time watching it, so we're mostly gonna be talking about that. But next week we're gonna discuss the Mandalorian gallery. Has been really good, and we'll touch
Yeah.
on Jedi Temple Challenge, which is adorable
Yeah. Yeah.
and cool. But yeah, so uh, Darth Radicus, hello, how are you? What are you doing? Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. So we're talking about the Clone Wars from 2003. Now, I'm late to the game on this. I didn't
Yeah.
watch it until just a few
Two
weeks
weeks
ago.
ago.
Yeah, well, everybody else had,
Yeah.
had watched it when it actually came out. So
You're late to 2008 Clone Wars. Now you're even later to the
I
even
was
older Clone.
I was late to a lot of stuff with Star Wars. Um, yeah, like the Clone Wars, the later Clone Wars series I didn't watch until right
Force
before
Awakens.
Force Awakens came out. Yeah, so yeah, a little behind on the times, but so yeah, I do think that affected my. Um, oh, this is true. MXC was pretty late as well. Star Wars.
Yeah.
What's Star Wars? Let me explain it to you. um, yeah. So yeah, I think because I'm late to the game with Clone Wars 2003, definitely think that affected my perception of it. So I can
Yeah.
see how it was a big deal, like how it would be a big deal when it came out, because this kind of like filled in the gap from episode 2 to episode 3.
Yeah. It was all people had back then.
Yeah, yeah. So from that perspective, I totally get it. Like the height, like that must have been so exciting. Um, but watching it after watching like the newer Clone Wars series,
Yeah.
what the hell is this?
It's
What if they're
it's
not
it's like
Clone
a
Wars?
yeah, I remember like when I said I told you it was it's a very it takes things to an extreme a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the time,
Uh-huh.
and but it's just I mean it's a weird kind of a weird how it like takes itself seriously and doesn't take itself seriously at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I could see that. Um, yeah. I think I'm still processing. We were just saying right before stream, I need to watch this again, I think. Um,
Invites.
it was a lot of hand motions and no voice comms. Well, you know what too, like
Yeah.
the writing was different, the animation was different. Like just a lot of,
It I mean yeah it is kind of interesting like they put like I said they put more focus on the Jedi than the
hmm
clones, and the
Yeah,
clones were
that's true.
basically just foot soldiers.
hmm
But they were kind of shown to be like superior foot soldiers in a
Uh-huh.
way,
Yeah.
like just lethal, like just what's the word I'm thinking of? Exceptional, I guess, is the close to,
hmm
but yeah. It was an interesting like how like 2008 changed that by giving us by it really changed like our perspective of the clones mostly what 2008 show did.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked how the newer Clone Wars kind of delved deeper into all about the clones and who they were, and um, it certainly it made me look at the war from their perspective, and um,
Yeah.
Biggest thing missing about 2003 Clone Wars is Dave Filoni. Agreed. Yeah, and that was one thing I
Yeah,
wasn't sure about. Like when we were watching it, I asked like, oh, like was Dave Filoni a part of this? And he wasn't.
this
And
is
you can
before him.
definitely um, see that, I think. But you know, Dave
It
Filoni obviously
it was
before
yeah,
his
but
time.
there's like a lot of things that this series
Hmm.
like especially like one big thing is Grievous.
Uh
A
huh.
lot of people like prefer this Grievous to the 2008,
Uh huh. Oh,
and
that's interesting.
I kind of mostly because this Grievous actually like is scary. Well, the other Grievous, well, 2008 Grievous is much more cartoony,
Hmm.
much more, uh, much more weekly villain of the week rather than like the menace, the Jedi killer that he was supposed to be.
Uh huh.
So yeah, like this one definitely shows that off
Mm.
more,
Hmm.
and definitely, I definitely kind of agree with that, but I also do like, I kind of there's like this mix with the two Grievuses that I like.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I was, never a big Grievous fan to begin with.
Yeah.
Jedi killer, so I hate him. So,
Um,
but I can, yeah, I was kind of surprised at how different it was,
yeah.
in comparison. Uh, Brandon, hello, how are you? Yeah, me too. We keep hearing that he kills
Oh,
Jedi,
Brandon Dodge.
but we rarely see it in the 3D Clone Wars.
Hey, there's somebody I recognize.
Oh, all right. Small world. Um, yeah, so there were a lot of differences. I noticed too. What you call it, Anakin. See
Oh yeah,
this. Well, okay. How can I put this? This Anakin seemed more like the Anakin we saw in the movies. A
yeah,
little immature, kind of whiny,
yeah,
lots to learn. The Anakin that we see in Clone Wars 2008 and on, he was more. What I liked about it is it helped me to appreciate him more. And you kind of really saw him evolve. I mean, of course, we get more time. That this they're showing on for a number of seasons, but um, he was someone who really cared about the clones, and he was a great leader, and um, you know, a great master to Ahsoka. Um, but the Clone Wars 2003, that seemed more like like movie Anakin. Did audio go out? Uh-oh. Well, guys, I guess it's just me. We lost the inspector. Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's not even picking up on your
you hear
mic.
me?
And now I hear you. Okay, because it wasn't even lighting up.
I lost you there for.
Oh, you lost me. I lost you too. You weren't
Yeah.
lighting up. We'll blame that on Discord.
I don't know what's up. Like I think Discord might need another update or something. Or I need another update.
I think we had this problem last week too. No, not
Yeah.
last week. A couple
No,
weeks
we
ago.
did. Yeah.
Whenever we did this last. Um,
Yeah. I thought it would fix because of the signal, but yeah. Well. Yeah, but what you were saying about Anakin being like different than the 2008 Anakin.
mhm.
It's one of those things where it's like this is one thing I'll say. I kind of have this problem with the 2008 Anakin, and he's almost too good. Like he's not like I don't feel like that the 2008 Anakin would fall to the dark side.
That's
Whereas
a good point. I could see that.
yeah, like he seems just too mature and too nice and
Too
like
perfect.
too puppy dog.
True.
Whereas like I feel like and as I get that he's supposed to be like this hero and everything. He's supposed to be like the ideal Jedi and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It does a good job of that, but at the same time, it doesn't. There's very little like there are still moments in the show, but they're not as I still don't feel like this Anakin and the movie Anakin are the same Anakin. I kind of have that little disconnect with it.
That's I would agree with that. I see what you're saying. It's yeah, because in episode 3 he's still that immature
Yeah,
Anakin that we saw in episode 2. I mean, well, a little bit more mature, a little bit wiser, but still
yeah,
acting out of fear and desperation. Um, although we do see him kind of evolve in
yeah,
the animated Clone Wars, like towards the end, we start to see a little bit more of that anger come out. But yeah, I would agree,
yeah,
not enough to necessarily make you believe he's going to turn to the dark side.
yeah.
Mature and
Um,
puppy are converse
but yeah, but this one, like the 2003 Anakin, like he has that much more cocky attitude
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that that like Anakin kind of has in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely because this one I feel takes place before or after, like it takes place after Attack of the Clones.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the Attack of the Clones Anakin was much more the base for
Uh-huh.
this Anakin versus like after Revenge of the Sith, where we had the 2008 Anakin was kind of based off that.
Uh-huh.
So it's weird. There's like two Anakins here.
Yeah.
Um,
That's true. It's a good point. I like to think at least parts of 2003 Clone Wars are still canon, like Ventress and Anakin being knighted. I can
yeah,
see
and
him. Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
like they. Yeah, sorry, what?
No, no, no. Go ahead. I'm just reading.
Yeah, but yeah, like that's cool that they still. That I think, like, of course, this clone, like the 2003, is very dear to a lot of people. So, like, even like Dave Filoni, I think acknowledged that because it was it's inspiration for this Clone Wars,
Right.
which is funny. It's like, all right, we did Clone Wars, let's do it again, but longer.
Hmm.
Let's add more.
Yeah.
And but yeah, he's still like there was like especially in the finale was they made Shock T, like they made the Shock T protecting the Chancellor canon,
Hmm.
which kind of basically could mean that the whole thing that happened into 2003, minus that little bit with Mace Windu, is probably still 100% the same,
Okay.
which is really cool.
I thought it was cool we got to see more of her
Yeah,
in this Clone Wars. Um, she's an interesting character we don't get to see a lot of, so it's kind of cool to kind of see her
yeah,
have her moment. Um, but yeah, and it was, I gotta say too, it was, well, I don't know, like I was saying, I think I need to rewatch it again.
yeah,
But I think when I rewatch it, I want to watch it the way it was released. Um, so like when I watched it, I kind of thought it was supposed to be like a movie. So because we watched it like all back
yep,
to
yep,
back, and I was like, this doesn't even like go together. It's like a mishmash. It's like from this to this to this to this. I'm so
yeah,
confused. And then I didn't realize it was 3-minute episodes.
yeah. There's like, well, they're you could edit it the way where they mishmash together, or not mishmash, where they all
On Mishmash.
yeah,
Yeah,
on
like
mish
maybe watch like an episode one day and then watch another episode another, like space it out so that like kind of like I have time
yeah,
to let it like sink in and appreciate it.
yeah.
Um,
Or at least like instead of like the whole thing, you get like the segments are
yeah.
all connected. Like the one part where uh Anakin, basically Anakin's like trial
Hmm.
in the very end when he has to go save like all of that alien, the blue alien race, the Navi, the cat
Hmm.
people.
Uh-huh.
Um, which like I hadn't like so like I said, this was like that was your first experience with Clone Wars
Hmm.
or this version of Clone Wars. I actually hadn't seen this all the way through, so that was also my first time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was kind of interesting to see like all these stories fully like from beginning to end and how they all connected and such.
Hmm.
And but yeah, there's like but yeah, one of my favorite moments was definitely like I think it was kind of I think you cut out during that part
Oh,
because like
yeah, I somehow disappeared at some point. Discord does that to me.
Yeah, when we were watching it on You Cut Out, it was like the Mace Windu going like ham on all those like thousands of droids. It's just like it's both one of the best and just the most ridiculous thing. And like, here's the funny thing, because I feel like people do make this like say like a lot of people say like, hang on, if Jedi can do this, how did they lose? And I'm just thinking it's like, okay, this is what I mean. They took it to an extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the Jedi in like the 2008 are much more realistic.
Right.
Whereas this was just like, hey, let's do this
Mm-hmm.
and go overboard.
Frankie didn't cut out. I muted her. Oh, the truth comes out. um. Yeah, I was gonna say definitely a lot more. Well, again, this is an abbreviated. I guess Clone Wars 2003 is an abbreviated Clone Wars technically, but
Yeah.
like it was all battles.
Yeah.
I liked how obviously in the newer one they have time to flesh it out.
Yeah.
22, 24
But I mean,
episodes. So like I'm just saying I like that there's more stories in the newer one compared to the old one. Like more like you get to know
yeah.
the characters and yeah.
Yeah. I was another really, but yeah, I do have to like when the one thing I look at this one like this one especially is this was one of the first cartoon or like for not I guess no it wasn't the first cartoon but like the first it was like the Star Wars cartoon and it wasn't like something I felt like they made it since it was made by the same people who did like Samurai Jack and everything and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they took it seriously, but they knew their audience was going to be kids.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like the kids were just going to enjoy. Kids definitely would have enjoyed all the action and crazy explosions and all that sort of stuff. Which,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But yeah, so I feel like the 2008, like they found the balance because they had the I guess budget.
Yeah. The
Which is
budget, the
nice.
time. Um, yeah.
Oh yeah, that the like some of the voice actors from the 2003 are the same ones that they brought back for the 2008.
Yeah, I was trying to listen in and I looked some up. Yeah, like I know James Arnold Taylor was the same. Um,
Obi-Wan,
Obi-
Yoda.
the voice for Saj Ventress was the same. Um, but Padme was different, I think. Padme's voice actress was different. I think I just looked that up. Anakin was different. I think you cut out again. Dun dun dun. I see. Well, you're lighting up. So you're talking.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. It's like every 5 minutes it does that. We have this high, and now it's like we gotta wait for to climb back out of the mountain of no signal or whatever. Yeah. Again, like I said, like but you were talking about like how all the voice actors and how there's like some are the same, some are different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, that's kind of the same. Like when I was talking about Anakin, is like the same issue I have.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like the 2003 has that kind of much more young, kind of much like lighter, even a little bit whinier tone to it. So I feel like that fits.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like Matt Lancer has a very deep voice. It makes him sound older and mature. Kind of again, it's that little bit of that little thing that kind of really changes it. So I feel like the 2003 sounds closer to Hayden than the 2008 does.
True.
That's also part of my disconnect with the two Anakins.
Mm-hmm. Yet it still works. Yeah, you're right. Matt Lanter doesn't sound anything like Hayden, Hayden's Anakin, but yet there's an Anakinness about it.
Yeah.
Somehow it still works. But his voice is more like warmer. Like there's a warmth to it.
Yeah. But actually, there was back in 2015, I think it was, or 16. They had Hayden. They had Hayden and Ian McDiarmid doing do I don't know, it was a comic. It was a Comic Con. They were like guests on it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that?
I don't think so.
I think George Lucas was on it too. But they were like all three of them were on there, and they were talking about their experiences with on Revenge of the Sith or other things.
Uh-huh.
And it's funny is hearing Hayden now is like he does sound deeper than he
Yeah.
did when back in 2005.
He was just a boy.
Yeah, so it's like weird how Hayden now sounds like Matt than he did sounds closer to Matt than he did back in 2005 where he sounded.
Oh, that's funny. I also wish episode 3 Anakin sounded more deeper than Matt Lanter. He sounds like a mix.
That is a good
Jones.
point. The deeper voice does match closer to Vader, and yeah, that sort of thing.
That's true. Yes, Ventress also showed up in Old Republic. That's really interesting too. Yeah, like how some of the voice actors from the Clone Wars also show up in the video games. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, they got to get paid.
Yeah, gotta make them money. But that's such a fun job. Like, because you're like officially like you do voice acting for Star Wars. You're officially part of the Star Wars universe. Like that's just awesome.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite moments in the 2003 versions is the red clone Captain Fordo. The one that survives all these little situations.
I don't even remember him.
He was the one that basically was like, I need reinforcements, and then he took down like a dozen droids by himself. And he was like, we need reinforcements, and then he just beats up a bunch of droids and then shoots and then dual wields, and then it's just like, it's like fine, I'll do it myself. That was one of my favorite parts.
That's pretty cool.
He's basically the Rex before Captain Rex.
That's funny. Let's see what else about that episode.
We could talk about sexy C-3PO getting his gold armor or plate.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Remember that? You remember when C-3PO like disrobed?
I don't. You know what? I'm probably gonna have to watch. Like I said, I'm gonna have to watch this more than once because I don't even remember all of it.
It was like the smooth jazz music played when he finally showed off his new gold.
Well, like you said, weird humor.
Yeah, it was a weird. Definitely like, okay, sure, yeah. We know who our audience is.
Something weird and Christmas specially, not Christmas special, holiday special about it.
Yeah.
With that.
Oh yeah, there was Dirge, who was that like weird alien bounty hunter with the worms and all that.
Ugh.
Yeah. That was the thing you all kept saying that is that Grievous? And I was like, no, it's not Grievous. I didn't want to like say it.
Yeah, I was confused. I think you guys were talking about how Grievous was different in this one, so I was like, oh, trying to figure out which one it was going to be.
Like, yeah, Grievous is different. He's the same, but he's better.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by different.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but yeah, like, it's okay. The one thing about 2003 Grievous, like, he is cool. But I will say like 2008 is probably more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
How he combats Jedi instead of like one-on-one. Like it's a weird thing. Is like he's much more sneaky in the. It's like his character feels like the same character in the movie. In the 2008 version than he does in the 2003-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Did I cut out?
No, you're still there. I'm just listening. Can you hear me? Well, crap.
Hello?
I this time I can hear you. Maybe I can type that. Let's see. I can. How about I can't even type? I can hear you.
Hello?
you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Did you
Yeah,
hear me?
that whole time I could hear you. I guess you just couldn't hear me.
Oh, that's strange. Um, what was I talking about? I was
I
talking
can
about
hear you.
Grievous.
I can hear you typing.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Grievous pre-cyborg, maybe in a video game or something. I agree. I think that would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of because they like there's like two different stories. I mean, there is like a canon version, but I'm not sure if it's 100% canon
Mm-hmm.
about Grievous's backstory. So I would like to see what backstory Grievous has,
Yeah.
either in an animated something or yeah. Um,
Let's see what else.
oh, there's Anakin getting knighted, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get to see that. Also, I remember that like he says like Obi-Wan's no Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh yeah, that sass. That was a very Anakin thing to say.
Yeah, and and it's like he's kind of right. I mean, Obi-Wan is no Qui-Gon Jinn.
Right. But that just like what a punch in the gut.
Yeah, it's like
Poor Obi-Wan.
mm,
And I know like if I recall like in the comics they kind of talk about that like Obi-Wan's kind of inner struggle like not being a good enough master to Anakin. You know, prior to him falling to the dark side, like him as a Padawan, like he kind of
yeah,
felt like he wasn't good enough.
yeah. I think can't like there was a can't remember. Do you know what the comics were that you talking about?
It's one of those things I didn't read it. I watched like the reviews about it on YouTube.
Uh,
Um
they're recent.
Within the last few years,
Oh wow, because I found some
I
because I
think.
remember some comics back in like around like 2005 that were like had some Anakin and like there was like the Clone Wars comics that I think that's where like they introduced like other characters like Rex and Ventress
Mhm.
before they fleshed them out
Uh-huh.
in the comics.
Maybe
I
I mean
remember,
I could
like
be wrong, but for some reason I
yeah.
thought it was newer. I'm not sure.
No, yeah, I think you're probably right. There's probably some newer stories, but yeah, that is interesting. Like, there's almost like 3 or 4 different versions of Clone Wars.
That's
There's like,
insane.
or there's like fleshed out parts that we didn't get to see in either the cartoon show or the
Mhm.
CGI show, or yeah, there's like books and so much more.
I believe Ahsoka was in one of the comics too. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Um yeah, it's interesting. Different versions of the Clone Wars, but like not different versions of well, there. Well, I guess you can technically say there are different versions of what happened after Episode 6. There's the Disney version, then there's the extended
mhm.
universe, and or
Yeah, there's a
Legends,
lot of different versions.
different versions of that.
Um, yeah. Oh, I also you cut out during that point. I was kind of sad I missed your reaction to Anakin having lunch with the bugs.
Oh, well, that was my reaction. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh,
And I think that
no.
it's like you kiss Padme with that mouth.
You're like, yeah. If Padme knew he did that, she wouldn't kiss him for a month.
I mean, to be fair, on Tatooine, that's a delicacy.
Ugh.
Those bugs. It's like
Oh.
I don't know. It's like you see Obi Wan. He's just like, how can you eat that? And it's like Anakin's just like, hey, hey, what are you talking about? This is I had to survive, man. You grew up in the Jedi Temple. I grew up on a desert planet.
Very different lifestyles. I miss Mara Jade being canon. Yeah, and she's someone who I would love to have seen on, live action or even animated. I'll take. She was a good character. I think we lost the inspector again. The force is not with us tonight, guys. Well, Inspector, if you can hear me, we cannot hear you. Um,
Losing signal.
there you are. Now we hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Oh, God. It's a sad, sad stream. Well,
Voicing. It's only like when we do voice chat. I don't think we've ever had this problem when
oh, Madigan has a lot to say. Yeah, no, I think just when we do video, it's whatchamacallit? Sometimes it might, the video might freeze, but the audio doesn't go away.
Come on, game. Come on.
Madigan, oh my goodness. Can you hear me? So can you hear me? We're good?
She alright?
Oh yeah, she's okay. I don't know who she's barking at. All right. Yeah, but the one thing about doing, voice chat is I don't have to get dressed up.
Yeah.
I don't have to put makeup on. I'm sitting here in my workout clothes. Got my,
Yeah, I mean,
my
I
legs
like
up.
the voice chat. But, yeah, I was gonna say is, like, when we get to maybe something new or something, do you want to, like, we'll talk about when we do video chats again.
Okay.
Probably something much more serious.
So,
Or
yeah.
not serious, but
For the serious stuff, we show our faces. For the not serious
Yeah.
stuff, we don't.
for the more chill stuff, we just
Yeah.
sit back.
We're like, whatevs.
Yeah, I miss Mara J being canon too. There's gotta be a way to bring her back.
I still think that the fans need to get together and start their own unofficial Star Wars network of fan filmmakers, if that makes sense. And they need to make all the extended universe stuff, or like at least the
Yeah.
significant stuff. Like obviously they can't crowdfund or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, what's his, Star Wars Theory like is trying to do that. His Star Wars movies.
Yeah, his interpretation of things, which is amazing.
So yeah, like if he ever gets to finish those, he could start like another funding or something for fan made, like big fan made movies. There was like a fan. I don't know if it's a full film, but there was a scene from like one of the later books in the extended. Yeah.
I think I know which one you're talking about, and I haven't seen it yet because I wanted to wait until I got up to that part in the books. But I don't know, between Jason and
Jenna.
Gina, yeah.
I saw that, and it's really well acted, on all honesty.
Yeah.
And by that I mean like I felt emotion that I didn't feel when I watched like Kylo and Rey.
Oh wow.
It's just like it made like I think it's also because there was like history between these two characters, so that like helped. But yeah, there's just like if you ever get a chance to like watch that or read the story, yeah, there's something there.
Yeah.
It's a very good fan film.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch it. I don't know. I'll see if I can. Maybe this summer I'll pick up where I left off with the extended universe Legends. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's dark. You know, it got really dark, and
Yeah.
I needed a mental break.
Yeah, there's yeah, there's I told you about that video, like Clone Wars is a kids show, and it shows all the violent moments that happen in it. And it has Mr. Blue Sky, like, you know, do playing in the background.
Oh God.
And it's basically it's like now it just makes me want to say like when somebody says like this is a kids show, and it's like no, this is a Star Wars show.
Yeah, it's definitely definitely not a kids show. I mean, which is funny because I think a lot of people missed out on it because they thought it, like myself, I thought it was a kid show. That's why I never watched
Mhm.
it. And I know people who felt the same way. Like there's a whole slew of Star Wars fans who have not watched it and have no intention of watching it because they still think it's a kid show. It's not a
Yeah.
kid show.
I mean, it does have a very youthful feeling to it in the beginning, but as it goes along, it does
Get
get to be
darker.
more serious,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing, honestly. That really made that show stick out amongst other shows.
Yeah. I feel like so far, um, Resistance, Star Wars Resistance, is the only kid show that actually feels like a kid show.
Yeah,
Like the plot's very simple. Nothing really terrible ever happens. Like there's drama, there's
yeah.
suspense, but like nothing like
It doesn't feel like people are gonna die
yeah.
often.
Yeah, it's definitely not as serious. But
And
still enjoyable. I do still enjoy it.
Rebels has its moments, but even it's a little lighter than Clone Wars was.
Yeah, I would say it's lighter. I still think it has, it's still sad, and
Yeah,
it has its moments, but yeah,
yeah. Like Rebels definitely has a lot of weight to it at
mm-hmm.
some moments, and I definitely
Especially towards the
enjoyed
end.
it.
I don't think I'll ever be able to watch the last season of Rebels ever again. Like I just don't think I
Really?
can do it. I really can't, don't. I have not rewatched it yet. I just can't. I'm not over it. What happened to Kanan? I'm just not over it
Yeah.
yet. Yeah, that's like there was a
What is he? No, no. Yeah, like that final season was really good.
yeah. I prefer to watch happy fluffy stuff. I mean, I watch everything, but I mean, you know, I generally don't rewatch sad episodes. Same goes for like the Clone Wars. I generally watch like the happier ones. I love the last season. It's probably my favorite. It's definitely like well written and the story's just amazing, but it's so sad. It's gut wrenching. Kanan went out like a master. He did. I think we lost Inspector again. Oh, Inspector. Inspector. Hello there. Anything? Well, that's all the time we have today,
Talking.
folks. No.
What?
You're back. You hear me?
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes of talking, and then a minute of like nothing.
Oh, man. Okay. You still there? Crap.
Hear me?
Oh, okay, now I do. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So that minute's over.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so we got 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes before the next one.
Okay. Start the timer. What do you want to say?
Um, uh, yeah, it was like that's pretty much. Oh, there was the. So did you? Okay, so kind of going back to the Anakin, like basically the whole um, Anakin's trial, where he basically saves like the cat people and the little blue aliens.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, it was like I was definitely surprised at how like serious and dark that like arc was,
Uh-huh.
and especially like that like the cave painting story,
Mm-hmm.
showing like here's this, which I don't know how like it's kind of a metaphor for what's going to happen to Anakin,
Right.
because it's like here's like this person gets infected with this dark power, but he uses it to save everybody, but eventually that power gets out of his control, and then he starts hurting everyone around him,
Mm-hmm.
and as that painting morphs into the Darth Vader shape,
Yeah.
where Anakin like wakes up.
Yeah.
It's a really like that, I'd say that's what this 2003 does really well, is telling the story visually.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just tells it with um all the shapes and no like very little dialogue.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Well, you know what? I guess you have to when you're only given 3 minutes, you got to make it have an impact.
Yeah.
So I guess there isn't even time so you have to really be able to tell a story without words sometimes,
Yeah.
But I would agree they did a good job with that.
Yeah. And
Robert,
apart from
hello.
like the final battle and everything, it's like, oh, and then of course they knew how to draw the they certainly gave Anakin a lot of shirtless moments.
Yeah. Which, listen, if he was not animated, I would appreciate, but he's animated.
You don't like those lines?
God.
Those curved lines?
I like the calf muscles of the 2008 Anakin Skywalker. I can appreciate those. Hey, Robert. Oh, Robert would like to correct you. It's Nelvin, not Blue
Nelvin.
Cat People.
Look, I'm sorry. Like I haven't. I know you.
He's just
Yeah,
busting
there's some things that
your
escape me.
chops. More shirt, more calves. Anakin was jacked.
Yeah. That's all I've written down pretty much of the 2003 Clone Wars.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot more than
Yeah.
I had written down, which is nothing, so. But I got my notes for The Mandalorian for next week.
Okay. Yeah, because I have not. I've kind of forgotten to write stuff down for Mandalorian. I've just been enjoying it.
Yeah, that's what I did with the last one, the one that focused on the music. I just kind of like listened to it. That one was definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah. So all in all, what did you think of the 2003 show?
I feel like, to be fair, I should probably watch it again, like give it another, like, a fair shot, and like I said, kind of space it out a little bit. Because the fact that I saw it all at once really threw me off.
Yeah.
I thought it was just okay. I wasn't crazy about it. But again,
Yeah.
I'm watching it way, way late.
And you're watching it after you just saw the finale of
Right.
the...
So I'm comparing it to the newer Clone Wars. But hey, 17 years ago, I could totally see how it was a big deal because, like, if I've always been a big Star Wars fan. I grew up on the original trilogy. I was so excited when they announced the prequels. Highly anticipated every prequel that came out. So I can only imagine how I would have felt if I had known that this was coming out. To anticipate that, to finally watch it, I probably would have been so pumped and loved it. We lost the inspector again.
You keep talking. You keep talking.
Okay.
This is your story.
Yeah, so I could totally see how back in the day I would have been so pumped for it and probably would have loved it. But watching it after watching, the newer Clone Wars and being really just sucked into that story, a fleshed out story, fleshed out characters, character development, plot development, it's hard. It's obviously the 2008 one is better, but
Yeah.
in my opinion. But I think back in the day I would have loved it.
Yeah. It has its moments, but it can be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2008 definitely fleshed out things in a much, much easier to digest way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. That's our story.
So I guess we have a little bit of time left to talk about the Jedi Kids show.
Jedi Temple Challenge. Okay, so I only watched the first episode. I didn't watch the second one. But so cute and so awesome. Madigan loved it too.
I really enjoyed it. It's so the second one. When I was actually it's amazing how into it and how much rooting I was.
Yeah.
For the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say this: I know that it's a game show and there's challenges and stuff, and the kids should be pumped and all that stuff. But at the same time, my mind is thinking, "You're Jedi. Stop being competitive."
Yeah.
This isn't competitive. You're not trying to beat the other person. You're trying to help each other. You're trying to.
I noticed that too.
This is not the Jedi way.
It's funny that you say that. I felt the same thing. It was all right, they're being a little competitive. Isn't Ahmed Best gonna say something? Shouldn't they get bonus points if they're not competitive? You know.
Yeah, I was like, there was like, I felt like this is a good start,
Hmm.
but I feel like they should refine it a little more.
They probably will over time. It'll
Yeah,
probably
you,
evolve.
again, this is for kids. The kids that want to be active and excitement. They don't want to be sitting like learning.
I couldn't help but wonder though, not to be critical, but I was like, I was just kind of wondering, like, oh, I wonder if these kids are actually Star Wars fans,
Yeah.
or were they just like actors
That's
hired, or
I do feel like maybe they are like this sometimes like game shows like these are ways for kids to get into acting.
Mm-hmm.
So they're but yeah, I feel like they like it's one of those things when you're young, especially now when you have so much media to enjoy, it does feel like kids today Star Wars is one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the thing like it
Right.
used to be.
Right. Um, I mean, either way, like even if they hadn't seen Star Wars, technically it doesn't matter. It was fun to watch. I was like more so caught up in like seeing Ahmed
Yeah.
Best as a Jedi, and his little droids are so cute, and like kind of looking at
Yeah.
it visually, like, um, I like the scenery, the
Yeah.
environment, like that was really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
You're gonna love the second episode. The second one was very I mean, it's the same, but it's also like it's the kids in there are very interesting.
hmm Oh, I'll definitely have to
Um,
watch it before our next session.
yeah, yeah. I definitely like because again, we're grown ups,
Uh-huh.
so we're looking at this as a different way. But for kids, I definitely can see like, yeah, kids would definitely like this.
Yeah.
Definitely want to be a part of this.
I
Even it looks fun to actually attempt. I would.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, I hope at some point they make it for adults and like kind of change it up a little bit. Like
Yeah,
even like, hey, even like teenagers or young adult, like um
yeah. Teens, you know, people who want to be like that. It's definitely something I would like to see like allow not just the kids but for people who love Star Wars
yeah.
at any age.
So the first episode, nice to see Ahmed Best. Yes, it is nice to see him again, and it's nice to see him. It's nice to see the man behind the mask, the man behind Jar Jar, and he's finally getting the love and respect that he deserves. He is an incredible actor, and he deserves his moment. And he was amazing. He was funny. He was sweet. I really enjoyed seeing him. There were parts. Let's see. I half expect to see the kids from Clone Wars in that show. You want to know something that made me think of that too? When they were on their mission to get the crystals for their lightsabers, it made me think of that as well. um, yeah, I think we lost Inspector again because he's awfully quiet. I'd love to see like Star Wars anthology series where we see stories from all the eras. Definitely.
Yeah. How's the internet on your end? Like, is it flickering or anything?
Is what flickering?
Your internet? Like, you doing all right?
Yeah, mine seems to be fine.
Maybe it's because you're. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I just don't get why Discord's doing this.
Inspector's trying to blame me, guys. He's trying to blame me.
You're streaming. You're streaming.
I
I'm
see
just
how
watching.
it is. But they can hear me.
Yeah, I know, because you're the host. So you have more power than I do.
I have the power.
I granted you emergency powers.
Oh, God. Who knows? It's all
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Discord. Come on, Discord. Come on, you're better than this.
Get your act together.
I know a million people are trying to use you to survive, but
We could always try, I don't know, does Google Hangouts have, like, just audio? I'd have to look.
yeah, I think it does.
We could always try that. I mean, this is
Yeah.
obviously easier, but...
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
All right.
Yeah, that's about it of all I can think of.
Yeah, same here. Um, Yeah.
Oh.
Jeez.
The sorry.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that I know it's not like there's nothing announced yet.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's announced, but there's nothing to talk about yet.
Oh,
But
the game.
the video game,
Yes.
the Pilots game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm so hyped for. If it's even half of what I hope it is,
Uh-huh.
then it's enough.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to find out the details of that. I hope it's not hard. I'm still
Yeah,
scarred from Fallen Order, so I hope I can play
I mean
it.
it's just flying.
Well, right, it shouldn't be too bad. It'd be really cool if it was like virtual, if they had a virtual reality component.
I think they did say that it will have VR
Oh, shut up! Are
ability.
you serious? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I it's this is basically like my dream game if
Oh,
it's even close, and if it has a good story, like it does look like it's gonna have a campaign.
mm-hmm.
I'm super excited. Remember I told you I wanted a Star Wars story about a pilot, like a fighter squadron
Uh-huh.
or something like that. Like this might be that story, but in a video game. So
That'd be pretty
um,
cool.
this is another like something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah. And I think tomorrow they're announcing all the details, right?
Yeah, like at 10 in the morning,
Oh
so it'll be
boy.
11 for you.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if I'll do a reaction or not, or anything. I'll probably I don't know. We'll see.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I'll just decide what I'll do. Maybe I'll do reaction and discussion.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my hype for the future right now.
If it's anything like X-Wing or TIE Fighter from the 90s, I'm taking a month off from work. Good luck with that.
Yeah, if it's
Squadron could be kind of
it's
nice stories involved.
if it's yeah, I mean if it's like I have like the Rogue Squadron games on the GameCube and the PC version, and I enjoyed Battlefront 2's fighter combat,
Mm-hmm.
especially how to fly around and everything.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that I'm just hoping that they take the mechanics of those games and because this is the focused game,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely it's a
Yeah.
3-4 hour story. I mean, there's not much you can do with flying games.
True.
So, like, I'm just curious. I'm hoping for a good story.
Mm-hmm. You never know, though. Good surprises.
So yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yeah. Lots of good Star Wars stuff heading our way.
Yeah, and that's
That's it.
oh.
You're so funny. Every time we're like ready to break, you're like, oh wait.
No, it's like I just read what Brandon said, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. That'd be cool, but if they do that, they would have to canonize the other things. I mean, they could not canonize the other things, but I would like it if that means they could.
People are
Um,
already protesting for prequel ships. That's not even out yet. That's so hilarious. People are so passionate. I'm like, whatever they give me, they give me.
oh yeah, I'm assuming it's just gonna be focusing on like because it's just X-wing and Tie fighters, but it does. I don't. They did say like flight. I don't know if it's like they said it's a flight simulator, which could mean like
Oh.
all the ships. Like we could get the Falcon, the Slave One, all the things. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm done.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, all right, guys. Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Especially for Ahsoka content. Thank you guys for hanging out, and thank you for joining the chat and chiming in and discussing uh, all of our favorite Star Wars things with us tonight. We have a lot to look forward to. The game will be next week. We'll be discussing the Mandalorian Gallery and
Yep.
more Jedi challenges. So lots more to come, guys. If you haven't already, please check out the Inspector Who Reacts. Check out his channel. Lots of great stuff on there. Give him a follow. And I will be back. When will I be back? On Monday. Tomorrow's Monday. On Twitch, streaming Old Republic. 7, no, not 7 p.m. Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern Time if you want to hang out. So,
See ya.
so everybody have a great night. Happy adulting. And we will see you all soon.